All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So we have some breaking NFL news that's coming out now about Mike Vrabel, one of the top coaching candidates for, I want to say, realistically, every team out there that's going to need a head coach. Chicago, New Orleans, potentially the Raiders, the Jets, all Jaguars, I think makes a lot of sense for Vrabel as well. And by the way, of course, the Ron Rivera news did not go unnoticed. I was on a plane, so that video is done. I just have to edit it real quick, and then that's going to be up. But it's looking like Mike Vrabel's time with the Cleveland Browns is over. As that consultant style of role, it's done. Mike Vrabel can now interview with teams because he is not a member of the Cleveland Browns anymore. So the Bears need a coach, the Jets need a coach, the Saints need a coach. I think he's going to honestly interview with all three. I think that's the jump start here. That's, such a huge benefit for both, right? Vrabel and, of course, the three teams that need a head coach. Now, there's been a ton of reports. All the beat reporters continue to suggest Mike Vrabel to the New York Jets. And I personally don't want to get my hopes up because I think if you are Vrabel, you can... I don't want to hype Vrabel too much to where I'm putting him in the same category as like an Andy Reid, a Sean McVay, one of these top end coaches, like a top 3 coach in football, like a Matt LaFleur or somebody. But I will say that if Mike Vrabel becomes the next head coach of the New York Jets, I am going to be fired up. I'm going to be fired up. But again, if I'm Vrabel, teams are going to call. Teams know that Mike Vrabel, I would say, if you want to go down the path of, hey, let's go out and hire an experienced head coach, someone who's done this before, someone who has playoff wins, someone who's a former player, someone who can provide discipline and accountability, physicality, toughness, lots of different traits, lots of different attributes when it comes to Mike Vrabel and a potential hire. All those traits sound awesome. So I want to say a lot of the teams, the majority of the teams, all of the teams that potentially could need a head coach. So again, I think if I'm Mike Vrabel right now, I'm excited. I'm going to be getting calls. The Jets are going to call. The Saints are going to call. The Bears are. What's going to happen with the Raiders? You have the whole Tom Brady connection. What's going to happen with the Jaguars? He knows the AFC South. He could get a lot of power there. Khan will pay, and Khan will wait. He's not one of these guys that, meddles. He's an owner that will, allow the people in place to spend money and to really build a team unless it's going south fast like Urban Meyer. So the Jets will obviously have a lot of competition here, but the Jets, they can put together a package, right? In this short period, I would not be surprised if the Jets interview Mike Vrabel or not necessarily interview, but schedule an interview with Mike within these next couple of days. I would not be surprised. Even tonight, if news breaks tonight, Jets set, a scheduled interview with Mike Vrabel, just like they did with Louis Riddick, just like the whole Ron Rivera thing. I think I think something could happen, right? Things are going to move, but I don't necessarily foresee something happening like this. Jets interview Vrabel, and boom, he's hired. Because we still have to find a general manager. You could, of course, argue, okay, let's hire Vrabel and, let's let him help pick out the GM. I don't want the Jets to work that way. I want to have the GM in place first, then the head coach. But that's just me, though. Not saying I'm right. That's just my opinion. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.